What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am, and today I've got a story time for y'all from back when I worked at that movie theater about an interaction where we had to deal with a Karen. Thankfully, we didn't really have to bow to her will that much, but regardless, I know you guys loves Karen stories, so I figured I would do another one. And yeah, it should be a pretty fun one, and without further ado, let's get into it. But before we do, press the like button, or no joke, no scam, you're going to get attacked by a Karen. And yeah, on that note, let's go.
I'm getting quiet now, laying low when you reach zone, wiping out, making out, stack the bread.
Alright guys, so for those of you that don't know, I used to work at a movie theater when I was like 17, 18 years old for a bit, and honestly, it was a pretty fun job. I have a lot of crappy stories from it, but all in all, I don't regret the experience, and this is a time where we had to deal with the Karen. It would happen from time to time at the movie theater. It was a lot less common than when I worked at a grocery store, but on this particular time, it was the opening weekend of a movie that a bunch of moms really like. 50 Shades of Grey. It was like one of them. I don't remember the one. I'm not a big fan. I just know that there was a lot of moms that were very wine drunk in our movie theater. And, surprisingly, out of every movie I've ever had to clean up after, because I had to do that sometimes, there are two that dramatically stick out in my mind for being, like, incredibly disgusting to pick up after. And there's two. The first one, I guess, is like a multitude. Any opening weekend of a kid's movie, like a Pixar movie, DreamWorks movie, worst experience of your life, those demons stick candy places you wouldn't know existed. But number two, 50 Shades of Grey opening. I worked two of them, and those moms lead a mess. Regardless, everybody that was kind of cleaning that day was pretty exhausted because of just how much cleaning we have had to done just show after show of these moms. And because a lot of them had been drinking wine since the show started, a lot of them had gotten pretty unruly. And in this particular show, it had ended and we had gone into the theater to clean it, and there was a lady sleeping in one of the chairs. Now, the standard procedure is like you leave for a little bit, you make loud noises while you're leaving, so they think that you accidentally woke them up, and then they'll leave. But where you make loud noises, we leave, we come back 2 minutes later, and she's still there. And at this point, it's really busy, we have to just clean the theater. So somebody goes to wake her up. And when we wake her up, she wakes up and she goes, "Oh my god, are you kidding me? Did you guys really just wake me from my nap for this?" And obviously, the worker who woke her up and the rest of us in the theater are a little bit confused because we're like, yeah, we woke you up because the movie's over. You have to leave. There's people starting to come in for the next movie. Like, we have to clean. You would think it was just a little bit of embarrassment from first waking up, but this lady decides that, like, no, she seriously is pissed at us for having the nerve to wake her up after the movie had ended. I don't know why you would come to the movie to take a nap. Like, it's a pretty expensive nap to buy a ticket to come in and take a nap. You could have just fallen asleep on your couch. But what I really don't understand is how anyone could think that, like, oh, if I fall asleep in the movie theater, they'll just let me sleep until I wake up. That's not how it works. Anyway, she starts getting pissed at us, saying that, like, we interrupted her great nap. She had paid for this ticket, so she was going to use it as long as she pleased, blah, 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 that type of stuff. And when we kind of are like, well, you need to go so we can clean, we're not just kind of bowing down and letting her stay in her nap, she starts screaming about how she needs a manager. She needs a manager. She needs to talk to someone immediately because this is ridiculous. This is not how you're supposed to treat customers. Keep in mind, we are literally, like, we've been cleaning theaters all day, and we haven't had anyone who's fallen asleep and never refused to leave before. Like, yeah, I've dealt with people being mean in the movie theater, but this was a first. Like, she thought that just because she bought a ticket for one show, she was allowed to stay here and sleep all day. I'm not really following, but, like, she was so illogical, we didn't really know what to do. So when she started begging for the manager, we almost took that as a sigh of relief. Like, all right, fine, we'll just go get a manager to deal with this, and then we won't have to. So I went into the hallway to get the manager, and it just happened to be one of our really cool managers. I'm going to name him Kevin for this video, because I don't know, I'm just going to make Kevin a cool guy for this video. That wasn't his real name, but this was his second job. Like, he had a corporate job during the day, and then at night he would manage the movie theater because him and his wife wanted to retire early. Like, that was what they were going for, right? So yeah, he cared about this job, but like he had a lot less tolerance for Karens and just people being nuisances in general, because like if he got fired, it really wasn't the end of the world. It wasn't like he was gonna lose his house or anything. So I kind of let him know what's up. I'm like, hey, there's this lady sleeping. She won't leave. She's saying that she's gonna stay as long as she wants. She paid for the ticket. She just won't go. We don't know what to do. So obviously my manager is like, all right, I'll come check it out. So he comes in, and as soon as he walks in, she kind of gets the smug look on her face that Karens do and is like, do you have any idea what your employees did while you were gone? And he's like, no, please tell me. And she starts explaining that she was just blissfully off in sleep, loving the great air conditioning in here, and we woke her up to tell her that it was time to leave. And I don't know if when she said that, she expected our manager to be like, oh my God, they told you to leave when the movie was over? Ugh. But he was like, okay, and did you leave? And the fact that he didn't just immediately start being like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, pissed her off. But instead of just getting pissed off and like accepting the fact that she wasn't gonna win this, she looks at him and goes, you're not the manager. And obviously, he's just the manager. The rest of us are in like black polo shirts. This dude is in a suit right now. No manager would be allowed to talk to customers like that. You need to go get me the real manager right now. And if you do not, then, you know, I'm going to call corporate and da-da-da-da-da. And our manager is kind of like, ma'am, I'm the manager. I'm the manager here. I'm the head manager. There's no one else you can talk to except for me. And she just refuses to believe that this guy is the manager for whatever reason, right? And she tells him that she's not going to leave until she gets to talk to the real manager. And at that point, Kevin says, all right, ma'am, then I'm going to call security to remove you. And she says, fine, go ahead. I'll explain to security the same thing. You're not the manager, so you can't call security. So for whatever reason, she's just confident that Kevin is not the manager. He was. I don't really know what her plan was here. And so my manager goes back in the lobby and I walk out with him. And I'm like, what are you going to do? And he says, I'm calling security. So he calls security. And, you know, this is just the way it is in Vegas. Our theater wasn't in a casino, but we were on the property of a casino. So we had like the casino security that could come help us with our stuff. We had a security guard on Friday nights, just because the casino had really good security. So he calls the casino, lets them know what's going on, and they send people over, and it's like 4 big guys, and they walk back into the theater this time after a little bit. And this lady is still sitting there arguing with the cleaning crew, being like, I'm not leaving, da-da-da-da-da, and she turns and she sees security. And I don't know if it was just the amount of wine or delusion in this lady's system, but when she sees security, she goes, finally, will you please remove these people from the theater so I can go back to my nap? Like, she thought the security was here to help her get back to her nap time, dude, not to take her out of the theater. And at that point, my manager goes, no, ma'am, they're here to escort you out of the building. And when she realizes that they're here for her, she goes, fine, you didn't have to call security. I would have left if you would have explained better. And she goes to start getting up. And she's like, I'm leaving of my own fruition. And at that point, my manager's just had enough. And he goes, no, ma'am, actually, you're going to come with me and my security for a bit because you're banned from the theater. You can't come back anymore. And she starts protesting that she comes here all the time. They're going to lose all this business. And my manager just wasn't having any of it. And yes, as weird as this sounds, we did have a system where like they would go to the front room with the manager and security, get their picture taken. And there were certain people that's pictures were up in the ticket booth that you couldn't sell tickets to. Like, this was a real thing. So this lady tried to pull the Karen move, get a nap time after her 50 Shades of Grey movie, right? Only to end up permanently banned from what was at the time the nicest theater in our town, all right? Ever since then, there's been a lot more of like recliner seats and whatnot, but it was like the first one in our town that was that nice. So, yeah, that didn't go down that well, and I guess what really sucks is that, she should have just believed he was the manager, dude. Like, all of this could have just been avoided if when the manager come in, she just left. But no, it wasn't the manager. Alright, guys, I'm going to interrupt the video for just 1 second. If you take a look at your screen now, you will see a gift card code. For those of you that don't know, I give away a gift card every single day here on this channel as a way to say thank you to you guys for subscribing and turning on those notifications. So, if you haven't already, you should do that, and if you already do, then big thank you, and I'll shut up. Thanks. Anyways, she's getting banned from the theater, but she's taken so long to get up and leave that now there's like a bunch of angry moms that are pissed off because their movie's playing and their theater's not clean and we still haven't let them in yet. So we end up having to like reschedule showings for most of the day by 15 minutes just because of this lady, and we didn't get back on track until I left. Like, I left and we were still 5 minutes off, you know, just because she had taken so long that it delayed everything. But what's really insane is, like, after she got banned, right, we ended up going back and checking to see, like, if she was really here all the time. And for whatever reason, this lady really was coming and buying, like, 3 movie tickets a day and just going from movie to movie. She was spending, like, 6 hours a day here. She wouldn't buy popcorn, drinks, or anything like that other than wine when we started serving it for this movie, but like, she definitely was in the movie theater a lot. So I don't really know what her deal was. I don't know if she thought that like we recognized her and weren't gonna kick her out. We didn't really know who she was until we started looking at everything. But she became a little bit of a meme around work, dude. People would like claim that they saw her spirit still coming around ever since she got banned. But yeah, my manager was an absolute G. He just banned her. Most of my other managers definitely would have caved into her and been like, oh yes, we're so sorry, ma'am. If you give me $2, I'll let you keep your seat for the next showing. You can nap all you want. Please, please. Guys, leave her alone. But he was not here to take that, bro. He said, ladies got to get into their 50 Shades of Grey movie and you're blocking them. Anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd really appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know in the comments section down below what you thought of the video. If you really want to help me out, check out the intro song down below. Use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout. And of course, check out the Scuffed Cast link down below in the description. And if you really want to help me out and get some of the coolest merch to ever exist, go ahead and take a look at your screen now and you'll see the merch. Wow, isn't it just fantastic? You can find a link to that down in the description. But yeah, on that note, that'll do it. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and I'll see you guys next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.